Welcome to another episode of the Mixtape Matinee Podcast. I am your host, Cole.
And I'm Court.
Today, we don't have a guest on today's show, but that's because it is the 4th of July week, and we thought it'd be kind of tough to get a guest, but we decided to do one of our new movie reviews. We haven't done that in a while. I think the last one we did was One Battle After Another. No, we did one for Hamnet.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. We did Hamnet, which was that was a great episode. But for today, we picked the movie Disclosure Day by Steven Spielberg. It has been out a month now, I believe. It came out at the beginning of June, and it's now the beginning of July. So, yeah, me and Court just went and saw it.
This 79-year terror campaign of lies has to end.
What are you gonna do?
Full disclosure to the whole world.
That truth will upend all established order across the entire world. If you do this, there's no undoing it.
I will say I knew that it was an alien movie, but I didn't know a whole lot else about it. So part of me kind of went into it blind. Did you know a lot about it, Court?
I had seen the trailer as well as like maybe a couple clips just scrolling on social media. I knew that it was about the public finding out about aliens, and I knew that animals were involved.
Oh, okay. So you knew more than I did.
Yeah.
Have you heard people talk about this movie at all? I mean, I haven't really talked to anybody about the movie.
My dad went to see it. He liked it. My dad's a big sci-fi guy, and he liked it. He didn't tell me much about it. He didn't go on a rave about it.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's good. So a little bit about the film is I guess Steven Spielberg has had this idea for a few years now, and he actually kind of helped. Well, actually, it was David Cope, who's the screenwriter. He's the one that wrote the screenplay, but the idea for the film was definitely in Steven Spielberg's head. The one thing that I will say that I know that Steven Spielberg, he was pushing this movie hard because I started noticing he was appearing on all these podcasts, all these movie podcasts, and it's kind of funny because he never did that for any of his other movies. I think him and his team must have realized podcast is the way to go to get your movie out. And I actually listened to a podcast where they kind of went. It was a movie podcast. They kind of talked about this film, but it was more of just looking back at his career and asking specific questions about kind of his career. But also the other part of that podcast was talking about Kubrick, who Spielberg's a huge fan, and he was actually friends with Kubrick.
Interesting. Do you remember the name of the podcast?
I'll have to link it in the show notes for today, but I can't.
It's not like one you regularly listen to. You just saw the episode and
I just saw a video of it, and I was like, I want to hear what Steven Spielberg has to say on Kubrick.
Yeah.
And he talked a lot about 2001: A Space Odyssey and how that really informed him. He remembers going and seeing that with friends, and then was
he in the podcast? He was.
Yeah, Spielberg was in the podcast. They were interviewing him about his experience.
So it wasn't super super heavy or anything, but mostly focused on his career and
his career, and then
feelings towards Kubrick, and
specifically about Kubrick. And then he kind of mentioned Disclosure Day, but it wasn't a lot. And but I've seen other clips of him going on podcasts and talking about Disclosure Day. So. I mean, it's cool to see that he's with the times.
Yeah.
But it's funny because Spielberg is such a, and I was looking into this. If you think back, Spielberg has been around so long that he has been I don't know if you can claim this, but if you think about it, his first big movie was Jaws. My grandpa was in his 30s when that came out. And then he comes out with Indiana Jones. My dad's in high school when that came out. And then for you and me, I don't know how you feel about this, but I remember Jurassic Park was such a big movie. Mm-hmm. That came out in our lifetimes. So
Don't
it's
forget
like,
E.T.
and then E.T.
was a little before
in the
us,
80s,
but,
yeah. But it's just funny to think like Spielberg's been in our lives in the zeitgeist of American film for like so
100%.
long.
And his main cinematic score collaborator, John Williams, this will be his 30th collaboration with John Williams.
Yeah.
And John Williams is 94 years old.
He's getting up there.
They normally when they have a composer make music for a film, they have a very, very, very tight window to make the music. Because of John Williams' age and health and everything, they did an unprecedented thing where they gave him like, I think half a year or something.
Yeah, give him a couple months to work on it.
And John Williams initially pushed back against collaborating. He said he offered like 4 other world-class composers. He was like, you should ask these guys. And Steven Spielberg was like, no, like we've had our long
collaboration.
I want it to be you. I thought the score was different than a lot of John Williams. It's much more restrained. I know in an interview, Spielberg talks about that. There are moments where it like...
Yeah, there's not like... Well, a lot of like Williams' score, it's like things that get stuck in your head. It's
like a motif that repeats. Or
he didn't have anything like that. Yeah,
no.
And I was also reading, for this movie, he definitely didn't want like the soundtrack or whatever to be like... Didn't want to be like noticeable, right? He wanted to kind of flow
was much more
with the movie.
Interestingly, recording the music, John Williams insisted. I guess now it's customary for big studios to record the instruments and the choir separately.
Oh, okay.
John Williams said, "No, I want it to all be live."
That's cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I looked into it for this film. Disclosure Day, Spielberg shot on 35 millimeter film.
Yeah,
which is cool.
It was. I was looking at. It's kind of a grainier film. Like, when I was looking at it, like, I was like squinting my eyes when we were in the theater a little bit because I was like, man, I feel like I see a lot of like granular texture.
And that's the film. He did, but for like for low lighting, they did use digital cameras. But for most of the film, they used 35 millimeter film, which is just cool. And like I said, like Spielberg has been such a huge part of like my movie watching experience growing up.
100%.
He's always, I just think he's just an amazing director, and I'm just glad that he's making movies still, and that he still loves it and has the passion for it. Yeah. And I always remember like watching like the first time I watched Saving Private Ryan and Schindler's List, super heavy emotional films.
Yeah.
And I just think...
Did you feel like this one was?
I didn't feel like it was like...
It was engrossing.
Yeah, you definitely get sucked into it, but it's not like... It didn't have like a huge emotional impact for me.
When we get to the spoiler section, I'll share one moment that hit me.
Okay.
But for the most part, this wasn't one that like... I felt the depth of emotion that I did, like with some of his other films.
And I guess we should probably just also say, like, if people don't know about the film, like we said, it's a UFO film. Basically, what happens is you find out that there's all this information that the government has been trying to keep away from people, and that there's proof that there's extraterrestrial life out there. And then the whole film is about this small group of people that is trying to get it out to the entire world, and the actor Colin Firth, he's kind of like the villain of the film, trying to stop them.
He argues that it will destabilize an already destable world. In the film, it's in the context of like essentially what we understand to be
it's a war between
the buildup, or maybe even an actual live war,
like Russia and North Korea
and South Korea.
And
I don't know if the war had officially started or not, but they said it was the highest security threat to the people of the United States since the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Yeah, it was something like that, and basically, it's more of just a backdrop, just to like let the whole audience know how serious and intense like the world is at that time.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Emily Blunt and is like the main lead in the film, and then also Josh O'Connor, both British actors who we were kind of talking about it. They do a really good job with American accents. Really good
I
job.
think Emily Blunt does a little bit of a different voice, like a different like accent.
Yeah,
than, like a regional thing. Like I think she was trying to do a specific region or something.
I wonder if she was trying to go for like the Midwest kind of.
Maybe it didn't sound like Wisconsin or like Michigan.
But you know, most of the film was shot in New York and New Jersey. Did you know?
Yeah,
that?
I saw that. Yeah,
and I know a lot of the.
and they actually used the studio, the news studio that's
on Rockefeller in New York.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering maybe she's just trying to get that accent, like the eastern part of the United States.
Yeah.
And then another great performance I thought was from Coleman Domingo. He kind of plays the character that is part of the I wouldn't say. Well, I want to say resistance, but like the group of people that want to get this information out.
Yeah. Let's should we list some of the actors real quick? I have the list pulled up. Let's see. We have Emily Blunt as Margaret, Josh O'Connor as Dr. Daniel Kellner, Colin Firth, Eve Hewson as Jane, Coleman Domingo as Hugo. I guess I didn't say Colin Firth's name is Noah in the film. Wyatt Russell as Jackson, Henry Lloyd Hughes as Casper Boyd.
He was basically the right hand man of Colin Firth's character.
And then Elizabeth Marvel as Sister Mara. And then as far as like the crew, like so the director in the story, Steven Spielberg, screenplay David Cope, is that how you pronounce it? Cinematography is Janis Kaminsky, editing Sarah Brochard, musical score John Williams. It was made by Universal Pictures and Amblin Entertainment. Budget was $115 million. Compared to its budget, made a modest $207 million. Yeah, debuted in Paris. It's about 2 hours and 30 minutes almost.
Yeah, which I feel like the movie, it didn't feel long to me.
No, not at all.
I feel like it was like paced really well.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was engrossing and interesting the whole time.
I think the thing that I was very surprised at was the action and how it is a little bit it's more of a thriller than I thought it was going to be.
Well, it's kind of like an extended car chase in a way.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, they're being chased for most of the movie.
Yeah.
So, which I thought was cool. The one thing that, well, I mean, I laughed at it when we were watching it, but I thought so in the scene, there is spoiler alert a little bit, but there's a car chase that involves a train. And I thought that scene went on a little too long to where I thought, would this actually happen? It kind of took me out of the movie a little bit because I thought they were trying to milk that a lot. But I found out that they actually filmed, like, that's a real car on a train.
Yeah.
Like, they actually, all practical effects, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, other than, like, hiding some wires and one other small thing. Yeah, I mean, it's enhanced with CGI and stuff probably. I don't know. It didn't look 100%.
Yeah, but they definitely used, like, part of a real car on a real train.
Yeah, so so that scene involves the security chief of the kind of shadowy organization called Wardex, Casper Boyd, ramming Daniel and Margaret, the car that they're in, which is an Alfa Romeo. I was trying to tell what kind of car. I'm not a big car guy, but the insignia was super unique. I'm curious about the car.
I guess I didn't even think about.
I just
that.
noticed it. Well, I always kind of look for like what cars and stuff are in movies because you know that it's marketing a little bit. Like.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, so it is actually a direct homage to Spielberg's 1971 feature debut, Duel.
Yeah.
So
have you ever seen that?
No, but apparently Spielberg actually envisioned in that film, he wanted the truck, which I guess in the film is like a pretty cool truck. He wanted it to be pushing a vehicle into a train, but they didn't have the resources on that film to do that.
Yeah.
And so 55 years later, he feels like he's finally achieved that vision.
That he finally gets to do it.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know, it would be kind of cool to do that movie for the podcast sometime, but it's basically a movie about a semi truck with, you never see the driver, but it's like trying to kill this guy in a car.
Oh, it's a semi?
Yeah, it's a semi truck.
Oh, interesting.
And you don't realize. Anyway, I'm not going to spoil it in case we do the podcast, but it's a really fun thriller. That was like his first full-length movie, and that's actually, they talk about it in that podcast that I was mentioning before.
Oh, interesting.
Kubrick actually saw that film, and when he met Spielberg for the first time, he was like, "Oh, I love your movie Duel," which was... And he had made Jaws and everything up to that point. So like the fact that he referenced like his first film.
Wow.
He said that Spielberg said that it meant a lot that Kubrick
cool.
liked his first film.
Yeah. And I'm just looking, the actors and stunt performers physically had to cling to the exterior of the train cars. So that's wow.
Yeah, which was cool. Like I said, practical effects. Even if that scene kind of took me out of the movie a little bit, it is pretty impressive that happened.
Yeah.
Did you get taken out of the film a little
slightly?
Because I was like,
it's been a while since I've seen like a blockbuster action film that wasn't like Tarantino.
Yeah.
Or One Battle After Another.
Yeah.
Which you could argue is not just an action film. Which this one I would argue isn't just an action film.
Yeah, it's not it's more sci-fi, but
it actually made me very nostalgic.
Yeah.
In a way, even though it kind of took me out at certain points. Also some of the I don't know if tropes is the right word, but some of the things in the film just made me kind of nostalgic for like 90s and even though it takes place in 2023, I think, doesn't it? Or no, it doesn't take place in 2023.
It's supposed to be modern.
2023 is important. I'll say why in a bit, but
yeah. The one thing, like while you were saying that, I did think it was kind of funny when we were watching the film. Spielberg using a lot of lens flare. Did you notice that? There's a lot of lens flares, like where you see like light.
No, I know what a lens flare is. I'm just trying to remember.
Like there's a lot of.
Do you remember a moment?
A lot of different. Well, like specifically when they're in the house, when they're hiding out in that house, the farmhouse, or anytime they were in like the secret bunker place.
I remember.
I think that also
light obscuring the view only one time, and it's a big spoiler. So I'll.
Yeah, no, it happened a couple times, and I think it when you shoot with film, it does make it easier for that to happen.
Yeah.
But I still I still liked it. It's definitely a Spielberg film.
Yeah.
Has a lot of the same type of things that he does, like where he will obscure like a person, like when you first see, like, because when we first see Colin Firth's character, you don't see him all the way. He's kind of obscured by like shadows. You can't see like his full. Anyway, that's the thing that Spielberg does a lot.
And, yeah, he does the reliable things. He also does an extended shot. For people who have seen the most promotional clips that have come out, this isn't a spoiler, but it's a minor spoiler if you care what I'm about to say. The part where Margaret starts like doing those like clicks and guttural sounds.
Yeah.
In the studio when because she's a news anchor or a weather anchor.
Yeah.
She that part I think is a 4-minute continuous shot
Yeah.
from her trying to get to the studio, to being in the studio, to having that. And I thought that was interesting. It's not like the longest shot we've ever talked about, but it is a long shot.
Yeah.
And Spielberg talked about his philosophy with long takes or long shots. It was interesting. He says that basically he in a way is trying to recreate the democratic nature of an audience members' focus that you get in live theater.
Oh,
And he says when the audience watches a long shot, they decide what to focus on. They decide when shots end in a way. They decide. And it was very interesting. I hadn't thought about it. He said it's not a gimmick for me. It's like it's a tool that I'm using to like get a certain
thing across.
Yeah,
to the
which
audience.
I thought was cool.
That is cool. The clicking things that
It's very creepy.
Emily Blunt does. She actually came up with that, I guess.
Oh, really?
Like, she's actually not come up with it, but she's actually making those.
She made those?
She's actually making those noises with her throat and mouth. Yeah, I read something about that.
Really? I thought
Yeah.
it had to be sound design.
Yeah, no, I guess
Wow.
because she's an actor and she does, she's doing the accents and all that.
Yeah.
She has control of her mouth and voice and stuff. I guess she figured out how to do that.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to have some kind of language, for the extraterrestrials in the movie.
Oh,
So,
that's something I wanted to bring up as you say the word extraterrestrial. They meticulously went through the script and everything to make sure there was no use of the word alien in the entire film.
Yeah. 'cause
They felt like in this political environment that we're in with everything that's going on with immigration,
Yeah, there's a negative connotation.
they didn't want it to, first of all, evoke any anti-immigrant feelings, and they also didn't want it to distract like people from. So they use different words. They say like
Extraterrestrial, yeah.
non-human biologics,
biologics.
like things like that.
Yeah.
Which I didn't notice, but I read about it after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't notice either, but yeah, I thought that was cool. One of the actresses, one of the things that we were talking about is Eve Hewson, who she plays kind of the girlfriend of Josh O'Connor's character.
Yeah.
But we were talking about her. Her accent comes out a little bit in the film a couple times. She's Irish. And she's doing an American accent, which I didn't know this. I was reading up on her. She's the daughter of Bono.
That's so
Which is like
funny,
kind of crazy to think that.
yeah.
But other than the accent kind of slipping, she does a good job.
She does a great job.
She has a crazy. There's some crazy scenes like with her intense face where she's getting a little violent.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll talk about that.
We don't want to. I won't spoil that specifically,
Yeah,
but
we can do that after the spoiler
she
section.
has
Yeah.
some crazy intense faces.
Her character is interesting because for her, a lot of the focus is on kind of like religion and coming to terms with things from a religious perspective. And
she's kind of
she's had like her own faith battles and stuff in the past, and then this presents a new thing,
and then she's kind of like, should we tell everybody about all this or should we not?
Yeah.
Is it going to ruin religion on the planet Earth or not? Which is also an interesting thing to talk about as well.
Yeah.
I also think that it's interesting that Spielberg made this film when he did, because especially with all of the UFO sightings, like you have the Tic Tac video, and remember like in Congress they had that.
Yeah,
just
that's what
recently
I was
they
going to
had
talk
all those
about.
different guys from the military
So,
come and talk about these things that they've seen, and things that don't make sense, that they don't like actual UFOs.
Well, apparently that actually was the origin of the film. It was in 2023 when some of those what people called whistleblowers, I think at the time, came forward with information that they alleged about the government and about aliens and about UAPs and stuff. Apparently that inspired him a lot. And as well as he integrates quite a few things from UFO folklore into the movie, including that random scene where Nixon is showing.
He wants to show off like this celebrity
to a celebrity, which
this
apparently that's based on a real story that the celebrity's wife talked about after.
And then that celebrity became obsessed with like UFOs like after the fact. And a lot of people think that he was actually shown an alien.
Yeah,
which I thought that was funny that they added that.
So apparently after all that stuff happened in 2023, Spielberg did a stream of consciousness writing process where he wrote about 50 pages, and then he sent them to who would be the screenwriter, David Cobb. When Cobb said, "What is this?" Spielberg simply replied, "Aliens again," which is kind of funny. And it's interesting. Cobb actually said he had some. Is it Cobb? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
I think it is. Yeah.
Said he had some hesitation about making another alien movie with Spielberg, just because he thought that critics might say that Spielberg is going to, quote, Monument Valley one too many times. And he compared it to John Ford's late career Western Cheyenne Autumn when he was talking to Spielberg about this concern. And apparently all Spielberg said in reply was, ouch. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah.
Well, as a director, you get inspired by certain things. And
Yeah.
even if it's like this similar, because obviously, he did Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
E.T.
And E.T., yeah.
Which also have religious imagery. They have, in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, they have the descent from the mountain that people compare to Moses coming down from the mountain after revelation from God. And then in E.T., they have kind of a motif where E.T. has an experience that gets compared to Christ's death and resurrection. So in this film, the religious motifs are more like philosophical, I would say.
Like how would it affect, if this actually happened in real life and stuff,
the Eve, the character of Eve, we find out pretty early on in the film, was a novatio. Is that what it's called? It's basically someone who is potentially going to become a nun. I think it just means novice.
Yeah,
is what I think it probably means.
Yeah.
And so that part is mostly centered on her character, and she looks to a sister for counsel, to hide at one point. Yeah. Before we go to the spoilers section, I wanted to talk about the opening of the film, which felt kind of random to me. Do you remember what it was? When the wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
It opens up with a shot where we are getting the POV of a wrestler in
a match
being beat up on. And it felt kind of random to me. And then you had
Josh O'Connor's character.
Noah is sitting in the audience. Or no, Noah's not his name. What's his name?
Oh, Colin Firth.
No, he's not there.
Yeah.
Until later. No, the guy who is going to leak everything.
Yeah, so Josh Connor, the actor.
Yeah.
That's the actor.
I don't remember his character's name.
But he's in the crowd.
He's in the crowd, and then this shadowy organization takes us back.
You find out that they decided on this is going to be the drop-off point at a wrestling match. I think the reason why he did that is to just get you sucked into the movie.
Yeah,
because it's a very unique way to shoot that, and then it's also you're trying to get your bearings on where you're at in the film. I think it's just a unique way just to start the film. I think that's all it was.
Well, apparently Spielberg was a avid fan of professional wrestling in his youth, and was
funny.
specifically a fan of Andre the Giant.
Wow.
And he
I didn't
shared
know
that. Also, the in-ring performers included real-life people from the wrestling world. Brian Cage, who was the wrestler in blue. Lance Archer, who was the wrestler in red. And then Chavo Guerrero Jr. was the on-screen referee and also the behind-the-scenes stunt coordinator for the sequence. He is a third-generation wrestling veteran. And the thing that I wanted to talk about, well, mostly I was like, I wonder why they chose that as the opening sequence. But then also, I thought this was interesting. Both wrestlers who are in the ring suffered injuries during
really?
Yeah.
Filming of that
Yeah.
scene?
So you'll notice one of the wrestlers isn't doing as much, but they kind of make up for it by having the other wrestler like do a bunch of stuff around him and stuff. And that's because while they were like doing all this, that wrestler who got the first injury got a back injury.
Oh, he couldn't really move.
And then, so to make up for that, they had the other guy do like a lot more crazier stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And because he did that, he sustained a knee injury. And the seemingly minor injury snowballed. This was Cage, who this happened to, Brian Cage, when he returned to the wrestling circuit, ultimately resulting in a complete tear that sidelined him for 15 months and ultimately culminated in him needing to get a knee replacement.
Dang.
So I thought that was
But he's in a Spielberg film.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, apparently,
it's worth it.
I can't remember if it was him or the other guy, but apparently when their agents contacted him, they said something like, Steven wants you. And the guy was like,
What?
Who's Steven?
That's funny.
Okay, we can go to the spoiler.
Okay. Now time's for the spoilers. So what we find out through the course of the film is that there's this alien technology that is used that basically you can get inside someone's head. It's like almost like telepathy kind of in a way, like a way to communicate. And there's 3 of them that both sides kind of have, and then there's this last one. Anyway, it kind of comes into play at the end of the film. But yeah, it's like a technology, and like if you squeeze it too hard, you like
Activate it.
you like just one guy gets killed, remember, and it just goes whoosh.
No.
Oh wait, he gets transported somewhere
He
else.
like disappears and then he comes
and then
back.
he reappears. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah,
but it also could kill you if you use it in the wrong way.
Yeah.
But anyway, what you find out is that Emily Blunt's character and Josh O'Connor's character, they are abducted as kids from aliens. One is given the power to understand mathematics and understand the meaning of the universe, so he can so this is Josh O'Connor.
The language of the universe.
Yeah, he understands math and code, and he understands the aliens' language,
Which I think they communicate through math.
Yeah,
those
and
clicks and stuff,
and also
are
the clicks are
formulas.
Yeah, and then Emily Blunt's character is she receives kind of powers on how to understand us as a human race, so she understands all languages, and she can.
But this is a
read.
dormant ability.
Yeah,
until the events of the film.
We learn this at the end of the film, but yeah, she learns. She has the power to read people's minds and
it's a very intensely empathetic experience.
Yeah, like a huge empathetic superpower almost. And then what happens is both of their powers get unlocked as adults, and then we find out that the aliens, they're trying to communicate with Earth, and Disclosure Day happens. They're able to
release the
release all
public.
let the entire world know that there are extraterrestrials out there, and ultimately, I mean, it doesn't show the aftermath, but you get the sense that everybody is very empathetic towards these aliens that have been killed throughout the 70 some odd year length that the government's trying to cover everything up.
Yeah.
Which you had to go to the bathroom when we were watching this
I
part of the film.
know.
But it basically, there's a kind of a big montage of just where you're seeing like footage from the past, like starting in the 40s through the 70s, the 80s, and it's just showing like that aliens have died, and then it like shows, it just is like showing people like on their phones reacting, and then like people crying for the aliens. It's like you're seeing that the whole world is having empathy.
Well, because like the shadowy organization like tortured them and shit.
Yeah, which is bad stuff. So that's kind of the part that you missed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of a
Long
near the very end.
montage of
It's kind of like
people
a,
like reacting.
yeah, it's kind of like
to
a
like archival footage.
Yeah, it's like a montage of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what you find out, and you also find out that like the alien technology of like how they were able to give these kids these abilities, those are actually the
Devices.
the devices that you see throughout the film. Like, oh, that's where they got it from that. And then at the very end, they wheel out an extraterrestrial that's actually alive.
That's like old, and you could tell it's like
it's almost about
good. Probably partially because it's been tortured.
And it says something to Josh O'Connor's character. He says it in English back to Emily,
which we don't hear,
and we don't hear what exactly is said, which makes it mysterious.
Yeah,
like kind of
it builds up to it,
kind of open ended, and then she says, "Listen," like she's about to tell the entire world what the alien just said in the movie. It ends.
Yeah. So,
which I don't think it's important for us to know what the alien said. I think the whole.
Well, I think the alien said, "Listen."
Yeah, but might have said something else too.
And I think it said more probably.
Yeah.
But
the main thing is
that's the last word you hear, and then it cuts to the credits.
But the main thing that is because that monologue, or not monologue, that the whole thing of like showing the archival footage and then showing people's reactions, you get the sense like, oh, actually, a lot of people are feeling empathy. Kind of gives like, it's kind of like the movie ends in a positive.
Yeah, and it's like in the context of a world that is very close to
like World War III.
Yeah. And so this is interesting. So screenwriter David Cope explained that listen, with the final word of the film, operates on multiple semantic levels. It is a plea for humanity to listen to one another and prioritize empathy over conflict. And then religious scholars who analyzed the film noted that the command mirrors the Shema, the central declaration of Jewish faith, which translates to listen or hear, which Spielberg is Jewish, and so it could be that this cosmic narrative that he creates with the story he wanted to include kind of a foundational tenet of his own cultural heritage, maybe. I don't know. That's what.
Well, also in the Bible, whenever angels come, they always say, "Hark, listen."
Yeah.
I have something to say.
Yeah.
So
and then
it works with the Bible too.
Cope cited literary influences, noting that "listen" is the first word of Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse-Five, which I recently talked to you a little bit about Kurt Vonnegut.
Yeah.
But that's a huge digression. I'll say just a quick thing. Apparently, Cole's great grandfather was in the same unit as Kurt Vonnegut, and
in World War II.
Yeah, in World War II, and they experienced the same friendly fire
during the Battle of the Bulge.
In the Battle of the Bulge, when they had been captured, were being transported on a German unmarked train car. They got.
So there is some cool family history from
Kurt Vonnegut after World War II writes Slaughterhouse-Five and begins it with the word "listen," and in the novel it utilizes extraterrestrials to explore the non-linear trauma of war.
Cool. That's what Slaughterhouse-Five is about?
It's a very trippy book. You should. I think you actually would like it.
You should try reading it. I mean, I think I've heard of the book, but I've never read it.
Yeah. So I thought that was interesting because at first I was like, not disappointed exactly, but I just thought like, well, first of all, I had just come back from the bathroom. I hated that I had to leave in the middle of the film, but
Yeah.
I shouldn't have gotten such a huge Pepsi Zero. But so I come back and then I'm watching like the end part of them showing like the archival footage to the public, and then they wheel in that extraterrestrial and everything, and it's interesting and stuff. And you're like, it's built up to this moment where she's going to say something, and then she just says, "Listen." I was a little bit like, oh, I wonder if it could have been something more interesting. But now that I know about why they chose it, it's cool. So.
Yeah, it's cool. And I think, like I said, the important thing is like you see that the entire Earth had empathy for these extraterrestrials,
which I missed that part mostly. But
that I guess that is kind of an important part that you missed, but not as far as dialogue, but just like a visual thing, which I thought was a cool way to do that.
Yeah.
A lot of funny little gags in this movie. There were like little funny things that like I thought.
I didn't think there was like an overwhelming amount, but there were some moments. Yeah.
No, it wasn't overwhelming, but it was just funny. Like he's trying to put in these like little lighthearted little gags.
Again, kind of made me nostalgic.
But yeah, like he definitely did those gags in like Indiana Jones. It made me think of Indiana Jones.
Yeah, well,
threw those in there.
One power that we didn't talk about that Emily Blunt's character has, and also that you think that it seems the devices that they have can amplify, is the ability to change the perception of people who make eye contact with her. Or, or I think they don't even necessarily have to make eye contact when it's being amplified when she's using the device. So during this one interesting scene, she makes all the people who are collaborating to release this information and everything, and this house that they've built, which we can talk about in a second, but I don't want to get distracted. So she makes all of that, and the fire trucks that they drove, she makes all of that invisible in this warehouse when they're being chased, and like that some of the funny moments are when like they're trying to chase them, but they're running into like
they're invisible
fire truck and running face first into a closed door.
A door,
but it's invisible, and it shows it from their perspective, so everything's invisible. So, yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting.
No, it was interesting. It just made me laugh a little bit.
Yeah,
I thought that was funny.
I like the film overall. 2026 has had a few blockbusters come out, right? Like there was, what's that one with? Well, have you seen it yet? I don't want to say
what.
Project Hail Mary.
I haven't seen it. No.
Oh, that's great. You should see it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but
yeah, you should see it.
No,
I would rate Project Hail Mary above this probably.
Oh, you like that one more than this one?
I liked this one. It was totally an enjoyable watch.
Yeah. This is an entertaining
It's not my
film.
favorite Spielberg, but it's definitely Spielberg, and it's cool. And it's cool to see a master director.
Yeah, and it's not bad at all. No. Which I'm glad, because like I want him to do good, because he's the GOAT.
Yeah,
but,
there's some like convenient things in the plot that...
Well, the one thing that really did make me mad is when Colin Firth's character just gives up.
Yeah.
And that didn't make sense to me. I'm like, why did he give up?
Well, because he literally
he tries
has done so much in his power, putting his own health at risk.
To try to stop them from disclosing all this information, then he just gives up
And then at the end, he just like... Well, apparently, I missed this part because I was in the bathroom. Apparently... When Margaret raises the device, most of the armed people leave. Like they're like, "Oh shoot," and they leave. Is that right?
Just one guy.
Oh, just one person does?
That's the other funny thing. It's just the right-hand man. He's like, "Aren't you going to stop her?"
Oh, the chief of security.
Yeah, and then he just doesn't do anything, so he leaves, and that's it.
Oh, well,
and then he leaves, and then I guess
some of them leave.
Some of them leave because they follow him. Anyway, that's the one thing. If I had to say anything gripe about the plot or the writing of the film, it would be that, because I'm like, it doesn't really make sense that they just give up.
There's a couple of things which were necessary for the plot, but maybe could have been a more creative solution that...
Yeah.
Like, the devices kind of act as a deus ex machina a little bit, like at the end where they're able to power up a whole building
with that,
with
so that
it,
they
and
can
we've never
do the
seen it do
broadcast.
anything like that. And then, but
it's
that part didn't bother me.
Yeah.
The bigger thing and this didn't bother me until after when I was like thinking about it, and people online were also talking about this. So, is his name Kelmer?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Josh O'Connor's character.
Yeah, he has all these like kind of weird looking USB drive things that have all the
data on him.
data, that he has stolen from the shadowy organization. A lot of people online are like, he literally could have
Uploaded it to the web.
Yeah, and that, but the guy who's kind of like telling him what to do and stuff.
I think they wanted to do it in a perfect.
Domingo, is that?
Yeah, they wanted to do it like coordinated, and I think.
Yeah, I can see that.
Also, they probably wanted the alien to be there to like so they could
Yeah,
translate what the
yeah,
alien's saying.
Yeah. No, I
That's
can
my
see
guess.
why they did it the way, but he basically says, no, do under no circumstances do that. And so then because of that, we get the movie.
Yeah.
We get the chase, we get all of it. And then the other thing that people took issue with a little bit was like, sure, we have like 70 years of archival footage and stuff.
But with AI, are people going to believe
Well,
it?
they brought that up. They said
Yeah.
like people could say like it's AI, and also relying on a legacy news network like to release it, people will
Yeah.
cast doubt on that. And like, but the part that I thought was more of a interesting critique or whatever was the fact that they literally had a living extraterrestrial that whole time. And that would be way more evidence to people than
the videos.
grainy footage from the 60s.
Well, they had to build it up, obviously.
And it was cool. And
Because you see, they move the camera to the alien, so everyone's seeing the alien live.
right. And it was cool. And I don't have a problem with that part. The only thing that kind of bothered me was when Cole told me that the guy, Colin Firth, that he just like gives up.
Yeah, that is definitely the biggest, like,
Which
that made me kind of mad.
I pointed out to Cole that there were people outside the window that they showed at the end, outside the window of the studio, the new studio, like recording on their cell phones. And I was like, well, maybe that's why he gave up, because it's like it was going to get out anyway. But
I guess.
Anyway, I mean, we're focusing too much on like nitpicky shit.
Anyway.
Overall, I liked the film.
I thought it was entertaining.
I would definitely give it a positive rating.
Me too, yeah.
Like I said, in terms of sci-fi films this year, I slightly, well, no, I definitely favor Project Hail Mary.
Yeah, well, and yeah, this film was better than I thought it was going to be. It was way more like action-packed than I thought it was going to be, which was cool. Like I definitely was engaged, and I think Spielberg's really good at that.
Yeah,
keeping you engaged. And then I also I do like the message behind the film, and the empathy is
they talk about empathy being
empathy's a superpower.
Well, they basically talk about it also as being the ultimate evolutionary advantage.
Yeah, which is that's a cool thing. Which I think is a good thing, and I think Spielberg has talked about those themes a lot in his other movies, especially like with Schindler's List.
Yeah.
With all of that.
Apparently, a theatrical play released around the same time deals a lot with similar themes called Life Out There, and people have drawn a lot of comparisons between the two films. I really liked it.
Yeah, I would give it a good rating. I probably like a 3.5, something like that.
I would be willing to give it a 3.5. I might go a little lower than that, but overall, good movie.
Yeah,
you have to understand. For me, I'm very like picky about what movies I give a 4.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll just say 3.5. So we're in agreement there.
Critics compared it to Francis Ford Coppola's
Megalopolis. Well, that one got a horrible review.
I know. Framing it as a cri de coeur from an older auteur utilizing an entire career's worth of cinematic techniques to shock a desensitized generation into collective action.
Nah, I think Spielberg still has it.
I think I agree. I wouldn't put it on the same.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that movie.
That's a cheap
Have you
shot.
seen it?
No, but I've heard it's really bad.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard people
I've
talk.
heard it has some really cool aspects.
Yeah.
But that it was
But I haven't
panned
heard,
by almost
I haven't heard people talk
everyone.
about how bad this film is.
No,
so this one
me
was
either.
good. I recommend people should go out and see it. If you guys haven't
No, I
already.
recommend it for sure. It might be his last film, maybe.
You never know. But hopefully
I
he still
would
makes another
definitely
one.
be surprised if John Williams scores another.
Yeah, because he's getting up there in age.
Yeah.
So, well, thanks for listening, guys. We will see you next time. We do have some more guests that we do have lined up. So we're really excited to share those future episodes with you. And I know I haven't said this in a while, but please like and rate the show. Really helps us get more audience. And also share the podcast episodes with a friend if we talk about a movie or album that
We're
you really
now
enjoy.
available on YouTube.
Yeah, we're on YouTube now. If you
So
didn't already
a
know
lot
that.
of people don't, have Spotify or Apple Music or Amazon, but
We are
everybody
on
has
YouTube.
access to YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, later.